Seems like it's a little easier to get this thing positioned correctly. But this one not using it right. Ooh, I almost slammed it on that picture.
I did.
I don't want to.
Here, let me get it off.
Don't mess the screen up. It didn't have to be.
What? There it is again.
Hello? Hello? Yes. Oh, good. Okay. Yes, David Young. Sure, sure. Yes, and we haven't had any issues whatsoever since, oh gosh, 2.5 years ago when we, I think, contracted first. And when I have used tower data on either of these two S8s, I have two, it's been relatively accurate. But what was my first concern was, of course, y'all have already taken care of that, is how we burn so much tower data. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 days ago. And when I drilled down on what the phone had been talking to, it was your data center. And I don't have any videos, clips, nothing that was downloaded from your data center to my phone. And yet I had 18 gigs of data. And so that's one thing that's got me concerned. And then, where did it go, in other words? And then B, this today, just here in the car just now, we get an inability to answer the phone, and I don't know if it's because of the tower thing, but he's already showing 18 gigs again, or 8 gigs, something like that. I can't look at it while I'm talking right now on driving, but he's already at some crazy gig count, and I've only made a trip, and that probably had 4 or 5 phone calls involved, including this one. Okay. Don't say that again. The one that I'm talking on now is the same one that we had the problem with, and it's this ends in 5665. Okay. You're only showing 1.5 gigs of data today. I didn't get what you were telling me. You were telling me a gig amount of, what was it, for today was 1.5 gigs? Okay. Okay. And then what's the DID for it? What are the last 4 digits? Yes, I can hear you fine. What's the last 4 digits of the one that you're showing the higher gig count on? Yeah, that's a phone that I usually have with me. Okay, well, yes, he used a good bit this morning, but primarily just, I guess it would be tower data, but it wasn't a good bit of it. Hey, Allie, are you able to not lose that call? No, I'm on my cell phone. Well, golly, I only have one call in progress, or so it says. Okay. Well, in other words, you're saying then that you are still seeing a steady pull on tower data even as we speak? Well, tower data is what we all need Verizon for. Y'all have all of the towers that transmit cellular signal, and that's used for. It should be used 100% for voice, but yes, you can have a conversation over Wi-Fi if you're at the house and it grabs the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Allie will tell you there's nothing social about me, okay? Really? I just thought that social media, would that include things, for instance, downloading pictures and videos from the data center that y'all, because I know that y'all mirror image whatever we take in the way of a picture, y'all, I think, put that in the data center, the Verizon data center. I don't even know the access code to it. I know it's got a unique password. What is it? Social media. As in Facebook and stuff like that? They've got to be wrong with somebody. For real, they have been wrong with somebody. The only thing that travels across these telephones, other than Wi-Fi while at the office or at the house, is telephone calls. It's telephone calls. We just don't. There was one occasion, months back that I served as a hotspot because we had broke down on the side of the road and everybody needed to make calls. That's the only occasion that I've even used that feature. And it's left off on my phone. And no, I don't do any social stuff unless can a phone be compromised like that, or? What do you mean hangout? I can Hangouts? No, I don't use any Hangouts for other than frankly one of you guys or John Michael primarily. Primarily on the desktop, so I'm using one of the PBX's phones for that. But I've definitely used the products that she's naming here. But are they routinely used? And no, they're not. Not so routinely as to, rack up that kind of suddenly. Nothing's changed in my life, I'll put it that way. Everything's just the same. Yeah, even just 60 days ago would probably be reflective of the last 2 years. Wow. Well, I know that we have, or at least we were told we were given an unlimited plan, but I don't like using that verbiage if it's bothering you, the provider. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't really know what should be routine for primarily a business line. What has been your experience? What kind of tower data does somebody working 8 to 5 and I come home for the weekend and the evenings, that's it? What typically for someone who's around nearly 60 years old, what are they using for, where are they visiting maybe? I have LinkedIn, but I don't ever use a cell phone for it. I can't think. The only thing that I would heavily use would be Hangouts. Sure. Yes. Understood. Right. Right. Well, it bothers me if it does bother me. We're relatively in the same business, and that my stuff is landline, but we resell, have a monthly recurring model for voice and data. And so it bothers me if there's a gadget, a device, something that is not programmed properly by me, or I've flipped the wrong button, and now we're eating unnecessarily additional data. That concerns me. So I will double check on my end to make sure there isn't any loose holes, and I will be a little more scientific, I guess, about reading this gig chart each morning. The one thing that I can think of that I know would knock it down, and I don't mind trying that to see, and then bringing it back, and that would be to put the phone in that low power mode. It'll turn off all of the applications except basic ones to make a phone call. So I can do that, and if we stop and go to zero, we've got a problem with my phone. This is probably all that we can say. Yes. Okay, yeah, look at it if you get a chance. Allie, are you able to hang up and stay together or no? Okay. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay. Yes. Yep. I don't. Not now. I'm moving again. But I can pull this phone right here and turn off that stuff.
Turn it off.